the brain circulation.
There's a question here.
So Kapil, you talked about the fact that there are no Indian issues for Indians living in the US who care about things like education, whether it's public schools or universities. You're a first generation, I presume a first generation American, Indian American. What makes you care about India?
That's actually one of probably the hardest panel questions I've ever been asked. I'll take that back. I don't say that there are no issues. There are definitely foreign policy issues that a lot of first-generation Indian Americans care about. My fear is that that interest, and Sonal was talking about the second and third generation, it's waning. Now, I have two small children, 7 and 3. We lived in India, and so my 7-year-old still remembers India. I don't know how long I can keep that up unless I keep visiting India. My 3-year-old has no clue what India was like. And so what's going to end up happening is that that love for India is going to really come through a cultural love, not necessarily a political love. And when we talk about education, and Sonal was extremely articulate about it, it's not Indian per se, right? Our concerns about public education are what all Americans care about. And that's my concern, is that a lot of our issues for second and third generation are just going to morph into the general concern. My love for India comes mainly because I was exposed to it at a very early age. When I started the caucus, I was 18 years old, and so I was still, I didn't know what I was doing with my life, and I met impressive diplomats from India who really just exposed me to India. I was probably as coconut can get. Growing up, because my parents had faced a lot of discrimination when they moved here. So actually they took the opposite. They said, be as American as possible so you don't face the struggles that we did. And it's people like Arun Singh and his colleagues and others that drew me in. And I can't explain it. It's something one cannot explain. And then we lived in India, and I came back even stronger, and Ambassador Singh knows that.
If I could just comment on that, again as an outsider, because I interact with people here and I see responses. And one of the things that I found that very often, as Kapil mentioned, when they're at school, the children integrate or try to integrate very much more. But very often when they reach universities, I find at that level there is a